what can you tell us about what the college big Power Five commissioners think about the season right now? It seems to be pretty dire at the moment, Bruce.
Yeah, so there was a call yesterday with Vice President Mike Pence and really all the conference commissioners, not just the Power Five, but everybody in FBS football. And I think one of the things that they wanted to make clear, because look, if you don't, work in the space of college sports, you don't probably realize, even if you don't, college football is different from college basketball. The NCAA runs the college basketball tournament. The NCAA does not run the college football playoff. And so one of the things that, they had pointed out, just to be clear, is that until the universities feel like it's safe for their students to come back on campus and participate in activities, they can't have games. And that's just a reality that several of the conference commissioners have, pointed out. Just to be clear on that front. Now, who knows how things are going to be different, a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. But keep in mind that it's going to take, 6 to 8 weeks maybe for teams, if they get an all clear, to get ready for actual games for their own safety reasons beyond the COVID issue of just health and conditioning. But also, you got to remember, we're talking about 100-man rosters, another 50 people in support staffs. It's like, what is the testing going to be like? What is some of the other challenges that are going to go into this? So who knows if a season's going to be able to start on time. I know I've talked to some people who are inside college sports who have, considered the prospects of the season being delayed, possibly even till 2021, the start of the 2021 calendar, but at least would get the college football season, if it had to come to that, to take place within the academic calendar. And what that really means is college football drives the boat financially for college athletics. I mean, if they don't have it, the money that comes from it, it'd be devastating towards universities and not just their athletic programs, but a lot of other things that college football helps fund.
Yeah, we had your colleague at Stadium, Brett McMurphy, on a couple weeks ago when he was reporting about a poll that he conducted with a lot of athletic directors across the country, and how many of them thought that there was going to be no season. And he mentioned the same thing you just did, and let's just play that out. Why would anybody like Trevor Lawrence or anybody that would be atop an NFL draft go ahead and play a college season that is out of season in a way, and would not be would be going on? I'd imagine when the NFL would be having a combine. If everybody's back well enough to play football, then the NFL would be conducting its off season, if you will, unless the NFL season gets pushed too. It just strikes me that would not be workable, just to have college football. I mean, obviously you can play it, but maybe the stars of the game would be sitting that one out, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, the example you used is Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was a unique case in that regard. Now, I'm not saying what he would decide to do if his team is playing. Would he sit out and say, all right, I got to get ready for the combine, or I can't risk injuries, or who knows? I think we're in such uncharted waters here. The idea of people saying, wait a minute, I mean, look, where you went to college, it's a really cold place. It's a really cold place in lots of parts of the Big Ten country. It's much colder in February than it is in November. But you know what? If I think it came to that, people would have to try to find a way to make it work. And I think, getting back to the Trevor Lawrence part, I don't think there's that many football players. Remember, if they don't have this season, I don't know how many guys you're working off of where you're basically going off their 2019 film and then a lot of guesswork. I mean, there's already so much guesswork in the process anyway.
Right.
I think that would put the NFL, just from that standpoint, I think that would put the NFL in a really challenging position to try to evaluate people. So I'd be curious what happens where you'd have, like, this sets up some interesting scenarios, because then all of a sudden you're talking about having a season that, let's say hypothetically, the season didn't start till till late January. The season's probably not ending till May then. So you're going to have a season end. If it was that, we'd have a season end in May. And then what does that mean for a 2021 season? Is it piggybacking off that? So I don't think anybody knows. I really don't. I mean, because there's nothing. We just don't know enough about what's going on. But there are a lot of people who work in college athletics who are kicking the tires on what-if scenarios now, because right now I think there is so much up in the air, and they know, again, the money is so monumental for them. I've talked to athletic directors at the biggest schools who talk about the money involved, and it's a cold hard reality of this. So I don't know what they would do. I mean, would there be some kids who'd say, you know what, I can't play if we're going to play starting in the winter of this year, and it's going to drag into the spring because I'm looking at my NFL future and what that could mean.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Bruce. I mean, like, for sure. Just take a look again, and then obviously I know a lot of players might feel pressure in that regard. And again, I preface this by saying this is all we're speculating, and there are far more important things going on in the world, understand. But while we're just in this arena, just to play it all out, absolutely. I mean, players need to start thinking about all that, and as much as they'd like to play one last time with their teammates, however they want, playing from September to December or January one year and then going into the NFL is one thing. You're going to start seeing the entire season being placed aside by prospects in the same way that Christian McCaffrey placed aside the Sun Bowl back in the day, and now he just hit it. He's the best paid running back ever. So check that box that he made the right decision back in that day, as opposed to potentially taking the Jalen Smith or, just name anybody else taking that route. I think you're definitely going to have that conversation.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, I don't think that's unrealistic. I just don't know how many players fit into that category. I don't think it's going to be widespread where you'd have every player. I could be totally wrong on this. I mean, but I don't think you'd have every guy who's a potential combine invite, which potential is a lot more than the ones that end up in Indy, certainly, who would say, you know what, I can't do this, because I just think that, it would, I don't know. I just don't think that many would go. It's one thing to sit out a game. It's another thing to sit out a season.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.